The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
So, can I start by saying we were looking at the morning papers before the show, because we do stuff like that. Don't think that we just turn up. We turn up, we read the papers and say, "Oh, look at the state of her."
No, there is a lot of that.
That's basically what I say.
But today everything changed because I tell you who looks great in the papers, and that's Kelly Maloney.
Yeah, which was Frank Maloney.
Well, Frank Maloney has become a lady, and he looks great. I mean, I'm serious, he looks great.
So am I genuinely think...
He wasn't a great man.
He wasn't a great-looking man. He did that thing, and we can sort of work out why now, perhaps, but he went for the flamboyant outfits, Union Jack outfits. No offence, Frank, but the Union Jack suits.
Yeah, I'm
just
wearing one this morning, in case you're wondering.
No, but you did famously like that look.
I did. Well, I wore that shirt for the Brits.
And that went well.
Yes, exactly.
And,
we try not to give him flashbacks about the Brits, usually, especially not in the first link.
No, but I think...
My nose is bleeding. Well,
it was the 90s. I think that...
Not for me, dear.
Kelly Maloney...
Yeah.
Was Frank Maloney.
Yeah.
I think looks absolutely amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting.
I'm not being sarcastic. The makeup's good, the hair's good, the clothes are good.
Because when I heard he'd become a lady, I didn't have high hopes.
No.
Because I thought, he was a... But I think he was right. I think he's done the right thing. But when I saw the picture in the paper, I absolutely thought it was Lorraine Kelly.
Oh, Frank.
What? Well, I'm saying he looked great, so what's the problem with that?
You think there's like a homage thing going on?
But the fact that he's chosen the name Kelly, I think he's a sort of a tribute band to Lorraine Kelly.
I can see that, yeah.
He's the new Bjorn again.
Yes.
What he's done, which I respect, he hasn't gone OTT, which I like. Hasn't gone OTT with the nails. He looks great.
No.
Good hair.
Anyway, so that's great news to start the show. Frank Maloney has pulled it off. Well, actually, I don't know if it was pulled. I think it was severed. Nevertheless,
what is wrong with you?
What? What
is actually wrong with
you? Oh,
it's a verbal slip, that.
It was. Do you know a verbal slip when you... Yeah, I think he was wearing a verbal slip. I know a thermal slip. Sorry, I misread that. It's very cold up here at the moment.
Absolute
Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've heard from one of our readers. This is from Ian. Ian Pennicutt, who says, Frank, Emily and Alan, how bin ya?
Yeah, bin ya.
As I'm... Yes, fair enough.
It's a West Midlands thing.
Yes, I know what it is. I can say it very well. How bin ya? As I'm usually out on a Saturday morning, I thought I'd email tonight, Friday, so he's one of our Friday night crew.
Oh, yeah.
Alan works with them a lot. I've been a long-time listener to the podcast, and I recently heard of your mild annoyance of the 12th.
Yes. This is to do with the fact that I no longer operate on it. I'll see you at 10 past or be there for 20 past. I'm using the 19s, the 16s, the 17s. It feels great.
Yeah. I used to be a driving instructor, and the practical driving test times in Dudley, as if I need to be told this, were as follows. 9:07 a.m, 10:14 a.m, 11:11 a.m, 12:38 p.m, and 2:42. There was also 8:20 and 1:40 available, but I used to ignore those. Anyway, I'm off to catch the 8:35 to Crewe to enable me to swill from a bottle of Ricard. Cheers, Ian.
Yes, because the 8:35, that's sort of spoilt it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I know.
I think is a reference there to I used to drink a Ricard on trains.
Yes, that was in what I call your unfortunate years.
Yes, it used to make me feel buoyant. I mean, you can criticise it. I felt incredibly buoyant.
You can criticise it, yes.
Buoyant.
And as I always said, it gave you a lot of room on a train. Even though if you were behaving... Even if you were really quiet and just reading a paper, if you were reading a paper and drinking what I used to call a flask of Ricard, because it was in a slightly flask-shaped bottle, people don't sit by you.
No, I wouldn't.
Prejudice.
Yeah.
I don't sit by people drinking on trains at all. I think people drinking on trains is extraordinary. Or any form of public transport. You wouldn't do that on a bus. You wouldn't do that on a tube. If you got a bottle of wine.
I did it on a bus.
I've drank on all of those modes of transport.
Yeah, you two, guess what? You're not benchmarks of normality.
I left a few benchmarks in those days. Tell you that. I had. I'm going to do. Occasionally I've lapsed into something I said I would never do in my life, and that's the funny things that they say.
Oh, yeah.
That parents do, and I know it's very awful. But I was changing.
Ticket's still available for my show, by the way, on the subject of funny things kids say.
Yes.
TSA.
Yeah, TSA. By the way, I had the doctor in A&E. I went back and had to see this woman the next day, and she said, "I want you to come in tomorrow as well." And I said, "I've got to go to Edinburgh." And she said, "No, I'm telling you, I need to have a look at this foot tomorrow." And I said, "Honestly, I have to go." And she said, "Well, look, I want to make this clear. You're going against medical advice." And she wrote me a letter to say if I had problems up here, I could show what I'd been injected with and stuff. And she wrote, "Can I say this patient is in Edinburgh against medical advice?" And so I'm thinking AMA for my thing.
Against medical advice?
Against
No.
medical advice wouldn't be a bad title for a show in Edinburgh.
Do you know, the fact that you did that is so Tom Cruise, and I'm
Yeah.
finding it quite sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, I knew I'd find something eventually. God knows I've trawled.
For me,
Anyway.
it was the Ricard on the train.
Anyway, I was putting my son to bed, and which he generally fights against, and he sleeps with two toys, two cuddly toys. And he said, blah blah and blah blah, they're sleeping. I said, "That's why you've got to go to sleep nice and quiet and not cry.
good idea.
Because otherwise you'll wake them up." And he said to me, "Well, they're just Buzzie's toys." And I thought, you can't do that. You can't say they're sleeping and then reduce them to inanimate objects. I mean,
He's torn down the wall, and I love him for
He's
that.
playing with reality. And
Totally.
I mean, early on, the fourth wall's gone completely.
He might be a filmmaker.
And
I
he
love
led
him
me
for that.
into it with they're sleeping. So
He is quite young to be aware of that.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit scary, and I felt like you know what he'd done? He'd led me onto the carpet and then pulled it away from under me. It was a trap. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, we're up in Edinburgh,
AMA
and...
against medical advice.
Yeah, you shouldn't even be here. I decided when I got off the train yesterday, there was only one place I wanted to go, one show I wanted to see. I'm afraid that wasn't your show, Frank Skinner. That wasn't your show, Alan Cochrane. That was Russell Grant's Strictly Edinburgh. I'd been waiting to see this show all my life,
I can
practically.
understand that. Russell Grant, he makes me feel fine.
I'm a Russell Grant fan.
When he's blowing down the back roads of my mind.
That's against medical advice.
When his show's called Strictly Edinburgh, does he only do stories that happen within an EH postcode? That would be Strictly Edinburgh, wouldn't it?
Hold your high horses, you'll find out.
Oh.
He,
Oh, my high horse is what?
how can I begin to describe this show, really, to you?
I have no idea
Okay.
what it's going to be.
I'll tell you what. So on the poster, this enticed me. Bruce Forsyth. There's a quote from Bruce Forsyth. None too shabby.
Who is this? It says. No. It's done over the phone. Who is this?
He in fact says Russell Grant is what show business is all about.
Yeah.
Don't end on about.
Does
I
he?
didn't like that. It's a bit messy.
Is
isn't
that what
it?
he
It's a
ends on?
preposition or something.
Honestly thought he would have ended on his golf handicap. He plays off a 3.
Anyway, so there's not a huge house, I won't lie, but it was a preview.
Yeah, and also it's beginning the festival.
It's the beginnings, you know.
We're still on the ramp. We haven't reached the upper
We've
level.
all got
The set
chairs.
is promising. The set is promising. There's a pair of feathered wings,
Okay.
a purple wig,
Yeah.
a throne, and a dressing screen. I like it already.
Yeah,
Russell Grant comes on. There's a huge picture of a chandelier as well.
lovely.
A picture of a chandelier.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a projected image of it. They couldn't
Because of the-
stretch to a real one.
Because of the health and safety, you can't be lighting a full
Imagine
chandelier.
if he
He's
died.
got
If he was-
a very, very glittery shirt on.
if a man should have a chandelier death, it's probably Russell Grant.
He's wearing too much crimpling near a lit chandelier.
No, I imagine it falling on him. I can hear the sound effect be. I couldn't do the tinkle. There'd be more tinkling.
Definitely.
Okay. But it's how he'd want to go, I think.
He's wearing a very...
What I'd do is I'd have it raised, and obviously you'd have been so pierced by it, he'd still be
pierced,
connected to it. And I'd have him hanging in my house as part of the family. So his spirit was, ever in my midst.
That would be nice, yeah.
Frank, let me tell you about the shirt.
Oh, sorry.
He's wearing a glittery shirt. He'd stolen it off Strictly.
Can I say, first of all...
Because when he shows a clip of Strictly, he's got the shirt on.
Excellent.
The same shirt on.
Can I say, I could have told you that he's wearing a glittery shirt. I don't know that...
And I could have told you that he showed a clip of himself on Strictly just as a
Oh,
guess.
no, I thought the BBC might have said more.
No, he thanks them at some point.
Oh, does he?
Says, I'd like to thank my friends who allowed me to show that clip.
Nice.
I don't think GM Good Morning Britain allowed him to show clips. He sits down... He comes on and he starts dancing. He does a song first, in a sort of Rex Harrison style. It's along the sort of Who Am I from the Les Miserables style.
I've grown accustomed to her face.
Yeah. Then he opens a book called My Life with glittery pom-poms hanging off it.
He opens a book on the length of his life.
And then he starts reading about his life. Some of it, I mean, there are some dark periods. He says, I went through some dark periods. I got up to 27 stones,
Wow.
he says. And then he says, but let's dance. Let's dance to Dana's Something's Cooking in the Kitchen.
Oh, yes, something's cooking in the kitchen.
Oh, no wonder he got up to 27 stones.
Yeah, there's always something cooking in this kitchen. It was on the back burner, so to speak.
He gets up on stage with a bowl and an egg whisk. He starts dancing to it.
Does he?
No.
Yeah.
Does Something's cooking in
Something's
the kitchen?
cooking in the kitchen.
Wow.
There's a lot of Gloria Gaynor. There's a lot of Gloria Gaynor.
Is that a term I should be more familiar with?
Gloria Gaynor, the final song.
But once I was afraid, I was petrified.
First I was afraid.
Sorry, I'm not very good on lyrics.
Song lyrics today.
Well, that was the end.
The only one I'm really confident of is...
well, there was so much going on. He ripped open his shirt at one point.
You are having a
and
laugh.
he had a black T-shirt saying, I am Samba.
Oh, he had something on under it. I thought he was
He
ripping
said,
off
I
his
am
shirt.
Samba.
You shouldn't give away his big reveals. But it might be another
Literally.
dance on another day.
Actually, his big reveals.
I think he's worn that shirt before, to be fair.
I want to
on,
come back to
Strictly.
this because I'm just loving it so much. I'm going. Definitely.
Me too. I'm
We're all going.
Shall we all go together? You'd go
Yeah.
again, wouldn't you?
Go again. I'm going every night for the rest of my life.
The best of Frank Skinner.
Absolute
Russell
Radio.
Grant, Strictly Edinburgh. He's just ripped off his glittery shirt to reveal I am Samba. There's a few technical hitches. There often are early doors, as we know.
I am Simba. Judging by the breath.
A couple of his
It's
pictures.
a joke, actually. His breath smells beautiful.
How do you know?
I've met Russell Grant did my star chart.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, he's at great pains to point out. He says, I did a bit of astrology, but I'm an actor. I'm a trained
Oh,
actor.
now he tells me.
Does he?
Paid through the nose for a star chart.
Well, I
That's a bit
looked
cheeky,
up
given that
his
he's in
website
today's
online.
papers doing the
He
stars.
does do online. I think it's £1.53 a minute.
What?
Now, this was a proper... I
dear.
have a document with
All
astrological
right, Neville Chamberlain.
symbols. Yeah, I spoke this morning with the astrologer Russell Grant. As from midnight, we are at war. So I'm
you might have
mixing
a
two
document.
speeches together.
I might have a document from Russell Grant, but I'm not sure it's legally binding.
Well, he said that my...
He's got to fulfil his promises.
He said
might
he
land
said
you in
my-
legal hot water, though.
No, this is honestly true. He said my career would last 7 years
Yeah.
Right.
and that I would never hold down a long-term relationship.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. It's quite a big thing to get in a star chart.
Well, it turned out he was wrong. Something was cooking in the kitchen.
So that it was his. He'd accidentally given me his. Or did he say we'll never hold down?
Oh, he might have.
What did he say?
See, the reason
Well-
I've not been to see his show yet is that I'm an Aquarian, and it says,
He's an
beware.
Aquarian.
Does he say
Why
that?
don't you two make beautiful water music?
I'm an Aquarius.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Oh.
I'm Spartacus as well.
No, I'm.
He explains that he had a long time off. He's not that specific, is he, Daisy, about why? He said he had a dark period in his life.
Well, no one called.
No. Okay.
I mean, we've all had those periods in
Yeah.
our careers. I didn't realise my phone was on silent for 3 years.
But he's good at...
Loads of stuff coming in.
what Russell's very good at is what I call the this morning gear change.
Oh, yeah.
So he'll talk about that, this bleak period. He felt life was not worth living.
Oh dear. I
Now-
thought it was going to be fun.
Let's
this
listen to Big Fun. Don't blame it on sunshine. And then you get up and you have a dance, which is lovely.
The audience dance?
Yeah, oh, you've got to dance. He goes, come on, madam, at the back. Oh, that's me.
Oh, dear.
That was you.
Yeah, madam.
I'm not...
Bit young for madam, surely. Then...
You were at the back thinking,
I'd
been
say
recognised,
something.
finally!
It'd be a lousy counsellor, wouldn't it? And then the relationship broke down. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. That's terrible news. Still, what about Lulu to Sir Whitlock? To Sir... Come on, everybody, Whitlock! Come, stop crying!
Frank, at one point, he called a gentleman up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, will you be my puck? I think that was the character. And he made him put some... He said, put the wings on.
He did Shakespeare.
Yeah, he did Shakespeare. He said, put some wings on, put some wings on.
Grant does
He
Shakespeare.
couldn't free the wings from the purple wig. Happens to us all.
Yeah.
So he got a bit frustrated.
Oh, no.
And he
Many
said,
of my
look, just
weekends.
leave it.
Oh, no, did he?
Really?
And the wig was stuck to the wings.
The purple
Oh.
wig was stuck to the feathers. So...
Did he sing, what is this wig beneath my wing?
I have to say, he
Just
was brilliant.
leave it.
I want everyone to go see it, but
Gotta
there was
keep
a...
your props
You know what
separate,
it's
that's
like
the-
in these early doors with shows, and he got frustrated. So he just said, look, just leave it. So he got on
So he
with the
didn't
show.
see that coming.
No.
No, he certainly didn't.
I should have known this would happen.
My favourite moment was at the end, and it was all building up to this, was Gloria Gaynor.
Hold it, there was a better moment than just leave it. I can't find that amazing.
This is the show that keeps on giving.
Well, one of the photographs wouldn't work, and he was a bit cross with one of the staff.
Dear,
Yeah.
It sounds like a man on the edge. It's a nerve-wracking time in Edinburgh.
But at the end, he said, right, I want to see everyone on this stage.
Wow.
Gloria Gaynor, I never can say goodbye. I took this rather too literally, so I went running up to the stage.
Yeah. Well, that's
I
fine.
started dancing. Daisy was still standing in the audience, laughing, taking pictures of me. I just thought I'm going to have to style this out. I thought Frank would want me to style it out like a professional.
Yeah.
A few women got up. One Scottish woman went, oh, she's at the front.
I think it's going to say two security blokes came and carried you off.
Thought it was a pitching version.
Russell, who by this stage had put a full-length evening wear on, dress, turned round to me and said, great number, isn't it, this one?
Bad. Meaning the dress or the song?
The song, as we danced.
Not as in nice number you're wearing.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I want everyone in Edinburgh to go and see Russell Grant Strictly Edinburgh. I insist we all go as a show outing. It's a fabulous show.
It really does sound absolutely... Just leave it. That's what I like. Just leave it. The Guardian.
Frank Skinner.
On Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
I was at the centre of the universe on Tuesday night. You know when you're at an event and you feel like everybody in the world is talking about
Jules
that
Verne
event?
book launch. Or
No, it wasn't. No, I haven't been to one of those for ages. I was at the opening night of Kate Bush.
Super duper.
Fabulous. And you know what?
Do you love it?
Well, my girlfriend is as obsessed with Kate Bush as anyone I've ever met to be obsessed with anyone. And she, when I knew Kate Bush was touring, I had to get her a ticket. And I really wanted to get it for the opening night, and I wanted to get good tickets. So I paid 135 quid. It wasn't a showbiz as your padre,
Oh, okay.
as we say in the monastic cosplay world. But we ended up, we were in the centre stalls. We were basically in line with the microphone. We were so central, in the fourth row.
Excellent.
On the
lovely.
opening night.
Not too near
Absolutely.
that you'll get a crick in your neck, but not too far that you're watching
near
a dot
to
in the
see that
distance.
Kate Bush is still a very beautiful woman. And there was occasional moments
Brilliant.
when she'd turn her hair one side and you could see that 19-year-old girl singing Wuthering Heights, even though she didn't sing Wuthering Heights, obviously. But it was... I'll tell you what she looks like, and I really don't mean this, but I was looking at her thinking, you really remind me of someone, Kate. She
is
looks
it?
like a very beautiful Brian Clough.
Frank?
Honestly, you look at some pictures of Brian... not when
Yeah.
he... not
Well, I look
not
like
when he
I look like Nigel Clough. That's my lookalike.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, I don't mean in his later days,
No.
when, as David Baddiel always used to say, he looked like a blackcurrant crumble. I mean when he was a bit younger than that. If you look at it and just squint a bit, you can see Kate Bush. She was amazing. I'll tell you what I liked about it, is that...
You should have done Shepherd's Bush.
she
You missed the
did,
trick there.
she did, yeah. But she was Hammersmith, so it wasn't
yeah.
quite there. But she She did. I mean, you must have read about it now, maybe. She didn't do the hits at all. She did like
No babushka.
No babushka. Not that I could see. And I was in the fourth row. She, I tell you what, it's like if we did a live show and the whole thing was about Peter the Wild and Julie's taxis. It was completely no surrender. You know, you had to be hardcore or forget about it. And I kind of respect her for that. It's like, she doesn't do a tour for like whatever it is, 30 years, and then
she does a lot of what I believe Pete Waterman refers to as own stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's what she did it as if she's been touring for ages, and now this is a new blah blah blah. I really like her. You know, so many of them come back, trot out the hits, and count them on her. Respect her. And she had, to Cat's delight, she had a son involved in it who's ginger, and we've got a ginger son, so suddenly there's a big bond.
Lovely connection.
Ginger Son Club. Ginger Son, of course, is, I believe, the colour of sun where Superman has some of his powers, but not all of them.
Nice.
Are you going with ginger then, rather than redhead, when you refer to it?
I've liberated the G word.
I like that.
Because I have people come and look at my son's hair and say, oh, he's a sort of a strawberry... But no! Use the G word. Yeah, I do. I lay it on them. It's a sort of gingers with attitude thing that we've got going. We've reclaimed the word in our house.
For you.
Yeah, he's ginger. What's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing, but you make him sound a bit like a cat. That's all.
We're all a bit like a cat, aren't we? I mean, you know, deep down. You feel listen to my tongue on the microphone. A little bit on the rough side, I think you'll agree.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Oh, they found Arj. Relax.
They have.
Arj was missing, but he is found.
I've been stiff with stress.
Arj once was lost, but now he's found.
Is he definitely found?
He's found. It's all right. Everything's okay. Relax, everyone.
Can I laugh and clap at that? Because I thought it was funny and...
No, I'm really glad that I was worried.
I was worried. Sick.
Hold on, I better put these away then. Come on. Oh, dear.
Listen, you started something.
Oh.
With this whole ginger campaign. We've been inundated from gingers.
Oh, good.
Well, first of all, we have 786. Does this mean we'll see you scaling the Houses of Parliament and unravelling a banner, Fathers for Ginger?
Wouldn't it be Gingers for Justice, wouldn't that? Yeah, what it would be.
Fred and Epsom.
You even get a bit of alliteration.
It's good to rewrite.
Justice for Gingers.
It's good to rewrite their suggestion, though. Yeah, you're right.
Justice for Gingers. That's it.
That's a copy edit on it.
I like to get the text in and then gag them up a bit.
Yeah. Laura's texted, we've also called our son Ginger from early on, so if he gets teased at school, it means nothing to him.
I've called my son Boz, and he's Ginger, so the bullies will just be... They won't know where to start.
And what I'm doing
Don't know where to start. Exchange and lot.
I like it. Means nothing to him.
My son isn't Ginger, but I'm teasing him early on, so if he gets teased at school, it means nothing to him. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, that's a good one.
What about Rich? Stop saying it means nothing to him. It's like having to live with midget from
I leg my son on a regular basis. Chinese burns.
Yeah, it's like aromatherapy, really, isn't it?
No, I think it is important. And I tell you, I have done ginger jokes in the past. Let me own up to that. I am like St. Paul.
You have.
You know, I persecuted Christians, and then I had a road to Damascus experience.
Right. No, you didn't really. Your son was just ginger.
Well, it actually happened to me in the kitchen. I had a road to Domestos experience.
What about Rich in Harlow, Frank? Good morning.
Are they?
Good on you.
Then why do they remain? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. Sorry. See, then they phone up the mayor of Harlow and he'll say, oh yeah, Harlow's a very fine place and people like Frank Skinner. And then you got a news story.
Yep.
Good on you for using ginger. My nephew has been called Ginger Boy or Red Lad since he was born.
Red Lad? Who is he, the singing detective?
Sounds like a horse.
It's rosacea he's got.
He's now 6 and can't be bothered if other kids call him Ginger. Water off a ginger duck's back.
Brilliant. Well, it's important because, you know, it is another form of singling out a minority, let's face it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd like to say hello to Debbie Wythe and the entire Wythe family, who've tweeted us a picture of their family. Fight for the ginger cause. We're a family virtually all ginger, even the dog, cat and fish. And they're a lovely family, I have to say.
You see, I like the idea of the ginger cause, because if the cause had all been ginger, would they been so lost in after?
No, I think...
That's an interesting...
That's a good point.
No, I know the ginger...
History might not even remember them. There could be a lost cause.
Very, yeah. They could be in the same place as Arge.
Arge is fine, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, as far as we know.
In case you don't wonder what we're talking about, Arge is somebody from...
he's off of.
The only way is Essex,
Yeah.
who went missing and now has returned. He once was lost, but...
Now he's been...
Maybe he's had a road to Damascus time conversion.
Maybe. It reminds me of there's a West Brom game when one of our strikers, Fabian de Freitas, didn't turn up. It was a bank holiday afternoon game, and he thought it was a night game, so he's in bed. It's this kind of dedication that's put us where we are today at West Bromwich Albion.
Sol Campbell went missing, I seem to remember.
Did
he? Stephen Fry,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, you don't get many missings, though.
No.
Missing celebrities.
Especially not with the celebrities.
No, they got, too much to lose. They don't want to go. And Arge, it was pretty short term.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's hope there isn't any horrible reasons, as we've been laughing about it for an hour.
The best of Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Can I say something quickly about that ice bucket challenge? If people are doing it in hot countries, it doesn't count, as far as I'm concerned, because it's easy having ice in a nice hot country. It's here that
It's not quite so easy to get ice.
But they should have a different challenge,
Yeah,
like
they
a
should
slug challenge or something.
No, they should tip a kettle of boiling water over it.
Yeah, make it a prop.
Yeah, that you've really got to believe.
Did you see that the ice bucket challenge has been blamed for a water shortage on a Scottish
Yes.
island? I mean, of all places to not have a water shortage, I would have thought a small island would be...
What they're putting in the whiskey?
Well, that's why it became headline news, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What about R2D2 did it? No,
What?
No good will come of that.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I saw
no.
that.
Play havoc with the...
I thought he
other
was an
horses.
ice
I hope they
bucket.
gave him a spray with WD-40 first.
We need to talk about Dynamo, boys.
Oh, yeah. If there are
Not
any...
something I thought I'd ever say.
If there are young people listening, it may be good to tune out now, because there are naysayers in the Dynamo camp, aren't there?
Is he a youth phenomenon, Dynamo?
He's
Dynamo the Magician.
he's a young magician.
I know he is, but
Oh,
is
right.
he mainly watched by...
You know how
I
much...
meant in terms of spoilers, because we're going to, say that people are saying, oh, you could see the wires.
Okay, it's in the papers, for
It is
goodness
in the
sake.
papers, but I
it's
don't
not
think
my
young people are
responsibility.
reading the papers.
But magicians back in the day, you knew where you stood.
Yep.
Because they had a
Saw a woman in
waistcoat.
half.
There was now,
Yeah.
sort of music. And everyone was happy. A waistcoat, grey sideburns.
Who was that
Now,
bloke used to be on Saturday nights? It's a kind of magic. Remember that guy?
Paul Daniels.
No,
Is he
Freddie
alright?
Mercury.
Is he alright?
that's
Yeah.
a kind of magic.
Okay, is Paul Daniels alright? Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He had a bit of flooding,
Okay.
but I didn't kill him, even though he's short. I think he climbed up the lovely Debbie.
He's keeping his head above water, is the short answer.
Yeah,
Anyway, Dynamo's
he
one
might
of
have
these...
drowned. That could be his toupee, and we think he's all right. He's lying on the floor, drowned. Oh no!
Frank, Dynamo's one of the trendy...
No, I know
Yes.
him.
You know.
You don't
Yeah.
talk to me as if I don't know him.
Oh, sometimes.
And I think
No.
he's great. I think he's good.
He's
But I
very
think
good.
This shard thing, he basically tried to levitate.
He's a bit humble northern for my liking, but you know what I mean?
I'm
He's
all right with
very-
that.
No, you're not humble.
What?
This is
No,
awkward.
he's very sort of sweet and,
This is
you
because
know.
I said I didn't watch the last 5 minutes of Doctor Who. He's been storing it up.
That's not true.
That bullet's been
It was
loaded
10
in the
minutes
chamber.
before. I've shouted you down to 5 minutes. If it was just the credits, that's fine. And also, you'd have just missed the come in next week thing.
Oh, yeah. I'll give it another try tonight if it helps.
He was on the Shard, though, wasn't
Yeah, what's
he?
happened? He was the Shard, which is a tall building
The tallest,
in
is it?
South London.
Yeah.
It just qualifies as South London. It's just south of the Thames. And he levitated above the two shardy, sticky out bits on top.
Yeah.
Now, people are saying, hold on a minute, if you look at that photos,
Yeah.
you can see there's wires.
Yeah.
Right.
You got wires.
Now, there's several problems with this, but the main problem is, what did people think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they think that Dynamo did they think he's in league with the devil in some way? That he has actual supernatural powers?
Well, he has got a bit of previous on this, because one of his fame-getting tricks was he walked on water, so maybe they did. Maybe they thought, hold on a minute.
Okay, well, I mean, it's great. I love his stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
But it never struck my mind that he had actual supernatural powers.
Hold your
No.
horses. Aren't they saying, really, what they're saying is, give us the bacon sandwich, don't show us how the pig is killed. That's what they're saying.
I'm all right.
They're
I
speaking in
understand.
code.
No, but that makes sense. You understand.
I understand. I put that in the personals in the Times this morning. 2 Russian men arrived at my house at 3 a.m.
That don't show us the innards. Don't show us the process.
No,
Right.
well, okay, but I thought this was it says, it turns out he's a phony. And then he said, no, this isn't true. I wasn't faking it. That was the bit where I was just having a practice with the wires. Hold on! So then you levitated above the shard. I mean, I think there's a problem with reality here, isn't there?
Yeah.
I
I don't like it when the magic world has a problem with reality.
I don't. He dynamoed it.
Yeah.
That's what I call him. I call him Lynamo.
Oh,
Because he's a Slynamo. Slynamo
He's slime.
dynamoed it. Yeah, that's what he did with his northern humility.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I had a tweet, Frank.
Tweet?
Yeah, from one of my regulars, Nugget.
Ah, yes.
Morning, Nugget. He says, morning, Frank.
Morning, Peter.
He
morning,
says,
everyone.
do you have a new email corner jingle featuring, and he says, @Divine Miss M, which is my Twitter handle.
Okay. Well, it just so happens, if you remember, some of our regular readers will know that a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this very thing, that maybe it was time that we needed. Some of you will remember that our email corner jingle, for some time, had a sort of Asian subcontinent feel to it, and it was sent in by one of our readers.
It was a bit George Harrison, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's we'll play
And Ravi Shankar.
Okay.
play it maybe for the last time.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's just enjoy this. Email corner. It's the tabla that I love. I love this
Yeah.
at the time, but the tabla going in the back.
It's absolutely
Fantastic.
marvellous.
Anyway, but every dog has its day.
Thanks.
And did you know that Darren Day had been ripped apart by a devil dog this morning? Maybe I should have let Sandy Warren announce it on the news. It's just come through, and I like to keep you people informed. Oh, I've just scratched the top of an insect bite. That'll probably go septic. Anyway, you heard it here first. Both those stories. So we got Emily to do Email Corner a cappella.
Oh, I haven't heard this.
A cappella, you may remember, is the bloke with the beard who played clarinet.
Yeah.
Stranger on the Shore. So we've got 2 versions, and we're going to chat. So it's a head-to-head, as they call it.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, it would be until I scratch my head off.
Okay.
This might be the most dramatic this show's ever been.
Let's have a listen.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, so this is Email Corner by Matthew Mays.
That is brilliant. I sound so unlike myself.
No,
Yeah.
you sound like trying to get out of a well.
Yeah.
I quite like it. What do you boys think?
Well, let's hear the other
Oh,
first.
okay, okay.
Oh,
Okay. This is Email Corner by Toby Riding.
Oh, I gave it some welly at the end there.
I like that one's got sort of slight piano house vibes going on.
Is that what that is?
I think so, yeah.
We're going to have to get... Well, what do we think?
Sort of.
The first one reminded me of trips to
To me, it
Tandy.
sounded kind of acid reflux.
Acid reflux.
You know that branch of house.
I'm really happy with them, I have to say.
Yeah, but don't we have to? I mean, we can intertwine. Some week we can have one, and some week another.
Okay.
I'd vote B personally if it
You'd
was
vote
up to
B.
me. Yeah.
What, Toby riding?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm feeling more B.
Oh, you're feeling more B. Oh, it doesn't matter what I say.
What, are we having votes? And
Well, I thought that was
and I
your
was
vote.
worth one of yours as well. Interesting.
Well, okay, well, it looks like we're going with Toby riding. So,
Yeah.
Matthew, thanks for joining in, but, you know, we can't all be winners. But I just, as a thank you, let's hear Matthew's just one more time. You see, I'm thinking after you two made the right decision. I think it's pretty good. I'll tell you the trouble is that it's a grower.
It's a grower.
really
You see,
is,
you
Frank.
get these songs that you hear first time and think that's great, and then you're not interested a couple of weeks later, and then you get the ones, well, that's a bit of a, and then 2 weeks later, and then 3 weeks, and then you love it. Anyway, you made your own mind up. You'll have to line it. Mm-hmm. Can one line one's own mind?
Oh God, yeah.
Well, they do on Countdown, apparently. That's why they have to be watched.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I've had a traumatic week, I have to tell you.
Oh dear.
I was someone broke into my life and occupied it.
Was this an episode of Doctor Who or something?
Yes, what happened was I discovered, through no fault of my own, that U2's new album, Songs of Innocence, had appeared on my iPhone,
Don't get me started.
on my iTunes Music. Now, I don't know, you know, I don't love U2, but I know many people do, and I respect their opinions. We're all different.
We're all God's children.
But, you know, if I was to send one of those people, let's say the Jag Thackeray box set,
Yeah.
or, you know, a selection of Formby.
Or in my case, Wakefield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't be happy about it. And I'm not by any means a technophobe, but I knew there was a thing you could click to get rid of this. It just appears. It's there on my iTunes. We've all got it.
Is this if
Have you got
do
it,
the-
Al?
I don't know.
You
is
must
this
have it. It's
I've
there.
got it.
Look for
I
it.
don't have to have it.
I've got it.
Tell me what I've
You
got.
have got it.
Tell
I
me
haven't
more.
got it.
You've got it.
You
I've
have
got
got
it.
it.
Hang on, if we're talking about me having it, then I've got it. But if we're still talking about this U2 album,
You've
I haven't got it.
You've got it.
We've
I
all
know I've
got it.
but
You've got
I haven't
it.
got the
It's-
U2 album.
It's the musical Ebola.
I've got something,
It is.
but I haven't got the
Everybody's
U2 album.
And it makes a mockery of the shuffle.
Hey, I'm
What
not.
if you've got company and that comes on?
I don't do the updates, though, so I've probably not got it, actually.
It doesn't
I
cost
don't
anything.
think they did the
Actually-
shuffle, did they?
The updates.
This is like conversation in old people's home.
It is a
I'm
bit.
I'm just warming up for that. I'm looking forward to that. Get the chairs in a circle around the telly.
I can't
Yeah.
bear that because then we'll have to watch Corrie.
Why don't their mouths dry out?
Hang.
Anyway, so I couldn't. So I've got a U2 album on, and as I say, full respect to their fans and their work, but I don't want that in my life.
You don't
That's
want
what
it?
I'm saying. I don't want it. I just don't want it. Also, Songs of Innocence, you know, if you take that from a William Blake point of view, there's the threat of a sequel as well for the Songs of
no.
Experience.
Oh.
I mean, you know, once you let them in.
Is that going to be iOS
As I
10
think Nicholas, what's he called? Farage.
Yeah,
I
Nigel Farage.
can't remember his first name.
I've got his business card.
Have you?
Yeah, he gave it to me once.
She sure has.
Really? Yeah, fabulous.
Horrible card.
Is it red, white and blue?
No, it's just a cheap font.
Anyway, so I was already trying to clear space as it was for a software update this week. I was deleting emails like
Really?
Jimmy Carr's accountant when the doorbell goes. But I couldn't shift it. I honestly couldn't. I went to the place where you're supposed to click the U2 thing to get rid of it, and I clicked it, and it said, no, this won't work. Now you have to do it manually.
Oh.
It was
Oh dear.
I'm calling it a band grenade.
Oh,
It just
really?
landed in
Do
my
you think,
life.
Frank, there should be a reciprocal arrangement now? We should be allowed to send songs to them of our choice.
Yeah.
They've
be
done it
good.
to us.
Yeah. But you know what I did in the end?
What?
I went into a complete panic. The only way I could finally get rid of it was to delete all my music on iTunes. So I wiped the whole lot.
Oh, no. You look pleased about it. Why are you happy about that?
Well, I like
That's going to be inconvenient, isn't
I
it?
don't know much about technology, but I feel confident you didn't have to do that.
in the end, though, I couldn't.
I think it might have been somewhat rash.
I kept thinking that's got rid of it, and I'd go back, and there it was, still staring at me with his dull black and white cover. Oh, no. And that's what I did. So I've lost all the music I love in order to do that.
But have you got stuff to listen to? Because last time you were walking...
I've nothing to listen to now. I'd rather listen to silence.
Last time you were listening to lectures about Catholicism, weren't you?
Yeah, well, what do you think
Shame
makes
you've
me a
lost
bad
those.
person?
They're all gone.
Oh, no, they're not on iTunes.
They're in the
God,
podcast.
I wouldn't have deleted
Oh, you
those.
do surprise me there's no call for them on iTunes.
No, I'm currently listening to a selection of Wild West short stories, if you really want to know.
Lovely.
Did you want to know?
Yeah, I did.
And, of course, the various Doctor Who podcasts. Oh, that monologue that Trev did this week about the new series, I found actually quite moving.
The best of Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Can I just say that so far, every time anybody has said you two, I've thought that they were meaning the other two people in the conversation, so it's been very confusing for me.
As in, if I have to stop the car, you two are going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in when you said, I want you two off my phone. I was thinking, what have Emily and I done?
Well, we'll soon find out. I tell you what I haven't done. And it just struck me this week. I was walking down the road and someone, well, I don't know quite what they did. I'd say that they beeped their horn on their car.
I'd say parked.
You say
What do you say?
Parked.
Popped. You see, I worry with this. I also say bibbed.
Bibbed?
Yeah, bibbed. Are you all right with bibbed?
I would have gone with beeped.
I'm all right with anything, darling.
Pipped their horn, I'd say.
Honked?
I never say honked.
You wouldn't
So
say
I'd
honked.
accept that, but I never say... I say beeped, bibbed, peeped.
Honked is a bit
Picked.
clown car, but I like it.
Is this going to be today's texting? What,
Well, I'd love to know if there's... I mean, have you ever said sounded? And I
Sounded?
sounded my horn.
No, I've never said that.
But people do. That is a technical term. Oh, I'm walking down the road and this fella sounded his horn. But no. But what this person did is he hit the horn and somebody turned around and went, oh, all right, one of those.
All right,
He'd
yeah.
seen a friend in the street.
Nice.
It struck me I've never done that in my life. I mean, I've seen a friend in the street, but I wouldn't...
But you've never
I wouldn't
parked.
bib.
You've never parked.
I wouldn't bib on the strength of it.
No, absolutely not.
It felt like a real lovely, warm community thing to do, which is
Yeah.
obviously why I've never done it.
And it's also not in the highway code that you just beep willy-nilly at pals. You know, it's meant to be a warning sound
You're
for
not
a
supposed to
vehicle.
beep when you're stationary. I don't think this person was stationary.
All right, well, that's fine.
And is it after 10 o'clock at night in a built-up area? I love the idea of a built-up area. Yeah, so,
Can I ask, did this character pull over?
no.
Well,
He
this
just-
is what I have a problem
He
with.
slowed a little. He did the hand gesture, and
He slowed?
the other guy, I think, shouted something. Sort of, you know, that sort of people think like, "Whoa, hey, you're one of those things that people say when they don't have anything to say."
Okay.
But it looked lovely, and I felt like an
Yeah.
outsider, as I sometimes do. Mm-hmm. Felt like a.
You want to get in on that? I do it all the time. All
you?
the time. I'm always beeping, but I've got a novelty horn that goes... And I just think if you've got it, you've got to flaunt it.
Do you beat people in the street?
Well, yeah, I've got a novelty horn. No, I
Have you
don't.
really?
I haven't
You
really.
got a novelty
I think I've
horn.
once
See
done
it
it
from here.
I think I've once done it as if I was driving away from my mum's, and like, if my brothers were still in there, I might go beep, 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 just thinking, this isn't really me.
Do you ever do that? That one.
No, because it's not 1974.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I forgot. I really thought it was 19...
Tooted. People have started suggesting.
Oh, yeah, tooted.
Tooted, yeah, but it's good, but it's not right. It's good. I wouldn't say tooted. I would accept tooted.
If I see
That seems to be
someone...
your new catchphrase. I wouldn't say it, but I'll accept it.
Exactly.
If I see someone I know on the street, though, if they're in the car, for example...
If they're
and
in the
I'm,
car.
Yeah, and I'm walking down the street, please don't toot me. Ever.
Really?
I don't like that element of social surprise. I like to pre-plan my encounters. I mean, I love you both dearly, but if I saw either of you on the street and I wasn't anticipating it, I would cut you dead.
Oh, seemed a bit
Really?
harsh.
I can't, I don't like it. And then the person pulls over and you feel you have to chat. It's horrible.
Yeah, I don't like that bit.
They're not supposed to pull over. They're supposed to just wait and move on.
Yeah.
That's curb crawling you're talking about. Got completely mixed up.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I will tell you. Now I was going to tell you something that happened to me this week where I couldn't remember something for ages.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I have this fanatical thing that you can't Google something that you can't remember. You can only Google what you don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you can't, you have to make your brain remember. Well, I did that this week for about 2 hours, and I did it.
Good.
I got to be completely straight with you. I can't remember now what I couldn't remember. It's absolutely true. Which has slightly spoilt the whole thing.
Well, we can imagine your joy, because we saw you remember the word stylus.
So tragically pathetic. Broken, like a broken man. I have a couple. Do you have things that you can never remember? I have things that are recurring things I can't remember. Like I can never... I've worked out a method for doing these now, but the two that I could never remember was... I could never remember Russell Crowe's name.
Right.
And I could never remember the film, the title of the film, Fatal Attraction.
Oh, really?
And I've only can remember that I had to come up with a method, and I thought FA for Fatal Attraction and RC for...
Did you call...
Hold on, I have actually forgotten what his name. Russell Crowe.
It's Russell Grant.
Russell Crowe. So I basically picked the initials of two of my favourite organisations.
The Football Association and Roman Catholic.
Yeah, and that's got me through it. But I'm interested... not being able to remember them ever. I wonder if any of our readers have got things that they can never remember. This would be a challenge in texting, if you think about it.
Ray in Bexley has texted, guys, I can never remember my own mobile phone number.
No one knows that, do they?
Well, I can see his
don't
on
know
the screen
anyone's
here. I
mobile
could read
number.
it to him if it...
No, better not read it.
I shouldn't, should I? No, but I could help him out there. It makes me feel like I'm...
Just a clue, it ends in 869, Ray.
And someone sent us a little joke, which I like. Dear Steve, Pete and Alice, my memory's great. I never forget anyone's names of people on the radio. Very good. Very good.
I have...
That's Dave from Harold Hill.
Josh Groban.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
Who
know
you've
him?
appeared on a chat show with, may I add?
Yes.
He's worked with them all, though, hasn't he? So it's hard to remember all
Well,
of
this
them.
is true.
I always have a tendency to call him, the first time he's mentioned, Rogan Josh.
Oh, yeah.
But people think, ha, that's him, messing about. But that's where my brain goes first. Oh, that's that Rogan Josh bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's difficult.
Please don't ever say that to him.
And now and then, and I also get him mixed up with the guy who played Green Hornet. What's he called?
Oh, James Franco?
No.
Oh.
No, it sounds...
God.
Josh. Is there a Josh or a...
I don't know, but this isn't the best radio we've ever done.
No.
Hi, Frank.
What is the best radio we've ever done? I can't remember that either.
Probably on a clip somewhere. Hi, Frank. I can never remember Elvis Costello's name. I always want to call him Oliver Cromwell from Sue.
You see, that's come from... He had a song called Oliver's Army.
Yes.
That's what's happened
That's
there.
method in
so
a madness.
Yeah.
I think it's all right to call him Oliver Cromwell.
Call him what you
I think
want,
you'd be
as long as you
delighted.
call him.
That's it. I heard Ian Paisley, when he was still alive, they asked him what his favourite film was, and he said, I've only ever been to the cinema once in my life. And they said, what did you see? He said, Cromwell! That was it. That's the end of that conversation.
Hang on. Ian Paisley.
Do you want to hear my Frank Bruno?
Put it on the list.
Frank Bruno's my work in progress. Do you know what I mean, Harry?
What? That's terrible.
I always start with the word. Start with the word.
Oh, really?
To the voice.
That was your own voice. You are aware of that.
Yeah, well, I'm beginning. Do you know what I mean, Harry? I'll keep you updated on that one.
Oh, we've got quite a long way to go.
I'm going to put it on the list. I'm going to put it on the list.
Get the words first. It's like, it's like doing Shakespeare. You get the words first, and then you colour in the...
Frank, can I tell you
Put
something
it on the list, but
awful?
more for effort.
Pam Netherton has tweeted us to say, this morning, I'm afraid my husband couldn't remember your name. So, there you go.
Well, it's only a matter of time, Pam, before me and him are in the same boat. And I can't remember my name either, let's face it. Eh? But who's the Green Hornet bloke? Grosh? Josh? Nosh?
Not Nosh.
Posh Boy? No. Nosh. Nosh Appel? No, it's not him.
Frank Skinner.
On Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
We've had some tweets already, Frank.
Tweets.
Can you imagine
Tweets for my sweet.
what they might be regarding?
Let me see now. Let me just check my date. It's 11th of October. Rings
It's a
bell.
Saturday.
Oh, yes, I remember what it is. I'm on Doctor Who tonight! Yes, I am on Doctor Who tonight.
I love the way you've been so self-effacing about this whole
Yes,
thing.
I've never responded like this. I've read every preview and review. I never read any of that stuff. And I tell people, I've been sending people pictures of me. I never do anything like this about my normal
Can I be
career.
honest? I am quite shocked at how many pictures you're sending us.
I know.
I mean, in the week, you've been sending... I've never had so many mass emails from you in my entire life.
And
You said, look at me. They actually say things
I
like,
was just
subject,
doing
look
it.
at me.
I was just
OMG.
doing it. I was just saying, look at this brilliant poster with me on it.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what's happened to me. I've become some sort of egomaniac.
I'm really excited.
I'm some sort of egomaniac.
It was really even seeing you in the trail last week. We had, me and the wife.
don't
we had,
know
we
that
had
pub.
we had a little squee.
You
on
had a
the screen.
squee?
We had a squee by osmosis.
Well, I had
of pride for you.
I would say, and I'm not exaggerating, there's been 3 trailers released this
Not that
week.
you're counting or anything. God.
I've watched that first one, which was the Next Time trailer.
Are you referring to... Can't we get a better expert?
New.
Oh, new.
Yes.
My mother, who was a professional actress of some years standing, said, I can tell he's wonderful just from that one line. She did.
Oh, and so there's that one, and then there's one which ends with me doing another line, which is
Do it now for us. Go on,
Okay.
everyone. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
something else might be responsible.
Oh, lovely.
nice.
And
We'll get
I've watched.
T-shirts with that on.
Yes, I've watched. I would say each of those trailers in excess of 40 times. I'm not exaggerating.
Poor Kath,
I might be
imagine.
playing it down. There's another trailer that doesn't have me on, and I've watched that once. It's nice, but you know what it's lacking?
What?
Me.
Frank, what if you're really good?
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that.
No, but people might say, imagine A Star Is Born. Skinner,
Yeah, can you
Skinner
imagine?
is
In the way that-
I imagine Skinner is electrifying, the Jewish Chronicle.
Yeah. And the fact, obviously, Peter Capaldi had a small role in a previous series of Doctor Who.
Yes.
So it's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Colin Baker was Maxwell, of course, and then went on to become the Doctor. So, you know...
So you could be Colin Baker.
I could be Colin Baker. Oh, better,
Wowzer.
yeah, better order me some... they did McDonald's takeaways. I love Colin Baker, so shut up about it.
Listen, so we've had a couple of tweets.
Okay.
Adam says, so excited to see you on a trail for Doctor Who, you weren't edited out.
No, I'm definitely in it. Because they won't put me in the next time trailer, then I'm not in it.
And
So now, at least I know I'm in it.
Matthew McGrath has said, looks like the Cockerel needed the day off to find a blank videotape for Doctor Who tonight.
I think he spent the day off thinking, what about my acting career? I think he's in a dark room with his head in his hands, saying, how did this happen? I'm the actor. And I'm not disputing he's the actor. Actually, you're an actor as well, You've...
Oh, finally, you get to me.
Yeah.
I was there first, darling.
I mean, I'm not sure I got the tense right on that statement. But, yes. And can I say to our readers, I'm not going to go on and on about it all day. All right? OK, I'm going to fight the urge. But obviously I've got to mention it, because it's oozing out of me like oil oozing out of the ground in the opening credits of the Beverly Hillbillies.
The best of Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Flip-flops, are they the only onomatopoeic shoes? Because they're called that because they flip-flop.
yeah.
You want, is there any...
Clog?
Oh, it's maybe a clog.
Clog, maybe a little bit.
See, stiletto.
Stiletto?
No, that'd be
No.
click-clacks. Oh, I've got a lovely pair of Louboutin click-clacks I bought the other day.
Nice.
I've got some.
I love that just trips off your tongue, that reference. Do you know, I
Bouton.
sometimes feel my work here is done.
Yes,
I
I think it's obviously your influence. I've got some pawpaws at home.
I beg your pardon?
I've got a pair of pawpaws.
Pawpaws.
Yeah.
What on earth is that?
Snowshoes.
Oh,
Slipper, quite onomatopoeic.
Slipper.
A little bit.
well, it
You're a
would
very
be.
hard taskmaster when it comes to
It would
these
be if it
shoes.
was called a whoa.
If it was
That
called
would be-
if it was called that.
But you're being a bit fussy, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, flip-flops, that is the sound they make. Slippers do not make the sound slipper when you're walking.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. You also, as far as I know, can't purchase shoes called or whatever you said snowshoes were called.
Well, I'm not saying you can purchase them, but I'm saying that's what they should be
Suggesting
called.
the rules are somewhat elastic.
It was a pretty good snowshoe impression.
Let's hear it again.
All right, Jeff, yeah, just clearing the... I'm going into town. Is anything open? Well, we'll see, but do you want me to get you some bread or milk? If you could, that'd be... Okay, see you later. See ya. Oh, it's harder than I thought. The Snowy Morning, that was called. I don't know if, if
Frank
you've
Skinner.
tuned into Absolute Drama. You thought, they should have an Absolute Drama when there's
Oh,
a drama.
shall we?
Yeah, that'd
All
be
the
good.
presenters could do like one-person shows. Stuff like
Oh, I can't wait for mine.
that. Me and the OC could do Waiting for Godot.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Seems you're something of a celebrity these days, Frank. You were in
Really?
Mail Online, I believe, this morning.
What, the sidebar of shame?
Yeah, you're in the sidebar of shame. Arwin Thomas says, not a Who fan. Yeah,
Okay.
I hear you. So I asked the question, was Frank dressed as Peter Capaldi's doctor last night, crossed with Tommy Cooper?
No.
I know what you were dressed as.
Go on.
Well, it's not just me that knows what you were dressed as, because one of our other readers has said, "Hi Frank, I loved your 11th Doctor outfit at Jonathan Ross's party last
Aha.
night." There you go, that's from Mary Rose.
There you go, that's lovely. Thank you
I
very
can
much.
see, because I've seen photos where you're wielding the sonic screwdriver.
Yes.
And
Oh my
there-
god,
there
he
is-
kept getting that
there
sonic
is-
screwdriver out all night.
There is an element in the delivery, in the screw driving. There is a nod to Cooper. there is a kind of I'll reverse the polarity of the neutron field just like that.
This is the man who's turned up today as trading places. No, I loved having the Sonic. I've never owned one before. I don't really go into the toys element of it.
I was really worried you were going to be Perkins last night.
Oh, I know, that would have been the worst thing if I'd have
Really
turned up.
thought
If I'd have
you were gonna
turned
be
up-
Perkins with the hat.
Wouldn't people have been appalled and then talked about me behind my back and said, "Oh, that's great," and said, "Oh God, he's actually come as a character from that." It would almost be worth doing if I could hire a secret film crew to operate
Yeah.
8 feet behind me to get the reactions and then make that a documentary. Wouldn't that be a good idea for a documentary? Doing deliberately crass things and record the reactions of those around you.
Oh, I thought you were sort of doing that sometimes. You know,
Sorry,
Frank,
sorry. Can we rewind?
I like that you gave a little nod. There was an homage to the Doctor, Frank, without it being in your face, and I like that.
It was one of those homemade outfits. I'll be honest. I mean, it wasn't elaborate. Like Emily went as dead Dorothy.
Yeah,
from
zombie
The Wizard of Oz.
Dorothy.
Yeah.
Like something really bad had happened in that tornado, something dark. But guess what, Frank? I didn't have any fake blood, so I had to use Dior nail polish, red nail polish.
That must be the most expensive dog blood. That's our texting. What's the most expensive dog blood substitute you've ever used?
Yeah, I had that on photo.
Listen to this sound. I'm just going to check out the mic with the Sonic. Seems to be okay. We had to go into this. We were at Jonathan Ross's. Have we said that Jonathan Ross's Halloween party? And
I wasn't at the party. I was begging in the gutter outside.
well, at least you got that jacket. You did well. Jimmy Carr arrived in that jacket last night. That's why it doesn't have any shoulders. So,
Or VAT.
I think he does that one.
Okay.
No, we had to go into this like horror maze where really terrible things. Yeah,
I say terrible, it's a fun thing. It's not actually
well, it's so
awful.
fun, but I'm always genuinely frightened and slightly relieved to have got out.
Clips of failed Jonathan Ross
alive.
project.
And I was really glad I had the Sonic with me, because there was like dark doors that we had to go through, and I found myself, as I got to the door, just checking it out.
You were wielding it. It was really
I
weird.
found
should-
it really
they should
reassuring.
I wonder if the doctor ever does that, if he wakes up and he can't find a light, and so he can't get his mobile.
Exactly.
He just checks what the time is with his Sonic.
Yeah, the doctor goes to the ensuite with his Sonic, so he doesn't fall over anything on the way.
Frank, what about Kate Moss?
Ah, well, you see, I've never met Kate Moss before,
Really?
Loser.
and it was quite. It was quite significant. I
Yeah,
think
it was a big moment.
Yeah, we'll come back to this.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
So we were about to go into the horror maze, and
At Jonathan Ross's party.
and David Baddiel said to me,
He was dressed essentially as his father.
yeah, and he was talking to some young woman, and then he said to me, Frank, and it was Kate Moss, and I said, oh, hello. And I thought, wow, I thought I finally met someone who is like, I mean, beyond the cool things. Someone from the planet cool. And it was kind of really... And she leaned on this wall, and it wasn't a wall, it was a curtain. And she did one of those Del Boy things. I felt...
She went flying.
Oh, I mean...
She looked great, but she went flying.
She did, and I didn't. Well, I think I said actually it's not a wall, it's a curtain, as if she hadn't realised it was.
You did say that.
Yes, but
I ended my life.
it was still quite excited, you know. I don't meet that many supermodels, I'll be straight with you, but it was. God, it was very.
Was
very
she
full.
Was she laughing, or was she in pain, or
Yeah, she
no-
laughed a bit.
Did she?
Yeah, did you think she didn't?
Yeah, I think she. You know, the cool never truly laugh. I think it's fair to say that. That's the only way we sort of reassure ourselves that it isn't great to be part of that world.
With the way you've described, I now very much have an image of her saying, "Let's play it cool, Trig." We could be onto a winner here.
What about when Gok Kwan actually said to me, "You look fabulous," and I think he might have then said "girlfriend"? He honestly said those words to me, which I thought was just an urban myth that he said that. Yeah, he took my picture. She looked fabulous, girlfriend.
I didn't know he was there.
Did you not?
Did I meet him? You got to bear in mind, everyone is like got heavily made up with monster outfits, so you can miss some.
It's quite a challenge for the tabloid people, because it's that bit more difficult to see. Like the
spot them.
pictures of Adele, because she's behind a veil or something like that.
Well, we didn't see her, Frank, did we, Adele?
I've no idea.
What about when Frank went in to ask him, tell the readers, Frank, what did the paparazzi ask you? Who did they ask for? I think you told me this last night. Not you, they're interested in me. Thank you
Oh
very
yes,
much.
they did. What they did say is Emily coming tonight. I mean, what is that about?
They might be long-time readers of the show.
They might. No, I don't
What
wouldn't
is
have thought
that
so.
about?
They're out too late to listen to this show regularly.
The real kick would if they'd have then followed that up with, "And where's the cockerel?
Yeah,
Where's Wicked Stevia?
yeah.
Where's Charlie?
Where's Bob?
So I was.
Is Gareth coming?"
I was. When I was in the horror maze as well, there was a bit where something started tickling my neck, and I went, "Oh!" And everyone went, what is it?" And there was nothing there, and I realised it happened to me again outside, and I realised it was the tassel on my face.
the best of Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Guess what? Happened to me this week, first one of the year.
What?
Wasn't a
Alcoholic
laugh.
drink.
It's a laugh. Alcoholic drink, yeah. It was...
First one of the year, my eye.
Oh, God, I wonder where that was going. I got my first Christmas present.
Oh,
Already?
Lovely. What
And
was it?
Well, it was actually from... hold on. It's from one of our readers.
No.
Yeah.
I like the sound effects,
Yeah,
Frank.
this is a letter being opened.
Yeah.
This
It's
like
Radio 4 play.
BBC drama. David, what is that? Oh, there was a letter from... Well, let me read it to you. So it's from.
Can't stop him acting since the Doctor Who.
He loves it.
God,
Stop
that's
it.
it.
He loves
I've got
the
it.
sound effects.
It's in my blood now.
It is.
I've got. It's from Chris 240 and Joe 529. It's from two of our listeners, and I'm gonna do one of those rarest of all things, a reveal on radio.
Oh, go on then.
Okay. So you'll have to paint a word picture for the guys.
Oh, excellent. Frank has removed from his bag and placed upon his head a leather Christmas hat.
Yes.
It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Can you not?
Emily has
someone made
attacked
this
Frank's
for me.
gift. Well, I don't need to narrate anymore.
You don't need to narrate the vocal bits.
I'm utterly speechless.
Lovely.
I think it looks lovely.
No,
You know what I said?
it's not lovely.
I said I think I
Very
look good.
fetching.
I look good in a Christmas hat, but I
Yeah.
find them a bit flimsy.
Yes.
And I said what I'd like to do is get a it's hard to keep them around the whole year round. I
Yeah.
find they come apart at the seam very often. And I said what I'd like is a leather one. You know, it was a bit. It was
Yeah.
durable. And then
You request gold.
it is gold.
It is
isn't it?
gold. It's mustardy.
That's not gold.
What is it? Is it mustard?
Yellow. It looks ridiculous.
yellow
It's got a
gold.
yellow leather hat on.
That's all
I
right.
can see
It's
that.
not all right, Frank.
But compared to a conventional Christmas hat, it looks sturdy. It's a hardy perennial of the
That's
Christmas
my point.
hat.
I'll be able to
Christmas
wear
hat
it
world.
at Easter, when of
Oh.
course it will represent the crown of thorns. Yeah, it's very flexible.
Do you
It
think,
is.
can I ask you a serious question? Do you think that suits you?
Yeah,
Genuinely.
yeah, I do.
Genuinely think you look nice in that.
Don't you think I look?
I think you should wear it all the time.
I think if you two held me upside down, I could make pastry shapes
Yeah.
with my head.
Yeah.
Frank,
Shall we do that?
please don't wear
People
that.
have said this show should go more cookie cutter, haven't they? But that's
Have they said that?
no.
Can I give
Not at all.
you one piece of style advice? If you are going to persist in wearing it,
Yeah.
there's a giant seam down the centre.
Yes.
Go off centre with the seam.
Yeah. I
Where
think you
is
should
it at
put
the
that
moment?
Like
put
when
that
one
at
wears
the
a
back of your
beanie.
head.
Let me readjust. I'll have to take my headphones off. So
Frank is now readjusting. Oh,
I'm
You
readjusting.
don't need-
The seam has now gone to the back.
brilliant.
Okay.
Seamlessly done.
There you go. There you go. I'm wearing headphones with it as well. I
Yeah.
think it's lovely, and I'd like to thank Chris and Joe. They say please find enclosed said leather faux in brackets faux leather Christmas hat. I think they mean faux leather instead of faux Christmas.
I think it's definitely faux leather, yes.
He says, I hope the circumference is sufficient, because I did point out that I've got a big head and often people aim low. It's a good...
In fairness, it looks quite snug.
It is a good fit. It's not too tight. Lovely. He says, I took the dimensions from the cranium of Henry Hoover.
Excellent.
He says in brackets, other vacuum cleaners are available.
Oh.
Please tweet a picture wearing the leather Christmas hat. It would be great to see. So we'll do that.
We're all over the social
Oh, we're not going to
media.
keep this one to ourselves.
You know me, I'm Mr. Social Media.
Aren't you?
Yeah, it's hyphenated in case you want to send me a Christmas card.
And now with the Christmas hat and the headphones on, you do look a bit like sort of human buckaroo. There's a lot of stuff balanced on you today.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you
buckaroos.
look astonishing.
Thank you very much. I think you're warming to it now that it was the seam, wasn't it? that was what was putting you off. You'd have been hopeless in the mining industry.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So here's the thing.
What?
I was on my way in this morning, and it's much busier than usual, I noticed.
Oh, yeah.
And lighter.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tell you what I saw. I saw a young woman in the street, attractive young woman, eating an apple
Okay.
in the street.
Yeah.
Now, there's no need for anyone who's that well dressed to eat an apple in the street. I know some people live on the street; they eat what they can get. But I felt, and I often feel this when I see young people eating an apple in particular, it's a kind of they think they're in a bit of an advert in their brains. They think, oh, this
So
is...
critical of people.
This is probably a Burberry's advert. I can't get a Burberry because they don't grow.
Burberry?
Seasonally, they're not available.
Maybe she was hungry, Frank.
No, not the way. She was just thinking, oh, I'm so young and good looking. Look at me with, look how full of life I am. And look at this dripping down my chin, eh? So all that
Pink
was going
Lady, Cox's or Jazz?
on. Well, I was in a speeding automobile.
Okay.
I say speeding. We were actually stationary in traffic, but I don't know my apples well enough.
Oh, I
Pink
do.
Ladies are splendid. They're a good apple.
Yeah, I'm all over them.
Yeah.
Is that what the ones in Greece were named after? They're named after the apples.
Grease as in the musical.
Yeah, isn't that the Pink Lady?
Oh no, they hadn't been invented then, darling.
What, apples? Hadn't been invented in the 50s.
No, the Pink Lady apple. I don't think it had been named then.
Right, well, it's named after the women in Greece.
The recent invention of the apple is how we know that the Adam and Eve story is somewhat skew-if. It's
Oh, yeah, but I mean...
it's all about the anachronism of
What
the
we
apple.
might have done is retrospectively an unnamed fruit. We might have placed the appellation.
Very good.
The appellation apple on it.
Very good.
Appellation apple is, I believe, the full name of the daughter of Chris Bingy
Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin.
Gwyneth
And yes,
Paltrow.
thanks for helping with the names. I'm not good at names
Okay,
at
always
my
here.
age, I must say.
So what did you just decide
I
finally
just
about
thought,
this woman?
oh God, stop showing off with your apple. Do you know what I mean? You know when you get
Stop showing
sometimes.
off with your apple is
Is this
such a
an-
working class view.
He thinks that's luxury goods.
It's what pirates with scurvy used to say when they were taken in by the Admiralty.
Well, if the
Stop
tea
you
fits.
showing off with your apple and your 2 eyes. Yeah.
I like
Well.
that to Frank. That's the ultimate decadence.
It's not. It was just when you can know in their head they're hearing like do 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 do. Burberry is for beautiful. Do 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 do.
Would you
That
find it
was what was
just
in
as
her head.
offensive if she'd been eating confectionery? If she was wandering
No.
along with a Snickers half hanging
No.
out of the
If she's walking around with a Snickers, what a Snickers what?
hanging out the edges of her mouth.
With the Snickers hanging out. I mean, you don't see that as often as you used to, do you?
Those were the days,
You
weren't they?
remember the raised thong you used to see at the back? I never see that now. I think
It
they've
was
got-
a 90s affliction.
But why is it? How could it have stopped happening?
It disappeared along with Atomic Kitten.
I know, but I don't see how it stopped. People still wear thongs, I'm guessing.
No, they've
No.
gone for the.
We don't wear
big
thongs
pants
anymore.
now,
Oh,
haven't
thongs
they?
have gone.
Don't
have
say they. I will tell you what
The
we
women have
wear.
gone for the big pants.
I'll tell you what. We don't wear big
But why
pants.
don't we see those? Why don't we see those rising up?
Keep them
Excuse me.
covered up, they're
Will you
embarrassed
listen to
about
me? Why are you listening to him? What does he know?
Why are you listening
Well, I
to
imagine
him?
he probably looks more than you do. Well, I want to know the answer to this.
I'll tell you, you're
Go
not
on.
asking.
Well, so tell me after this.
Okay.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, Emily Dean, know-all extraordinaire. What's happened to the thong? What do women wear now? Why don't we see them above the waistline of their jeans, stroke trousers? What's going on?
Well, Frank, I was asked this very question on Newsnight last week.
Is that true?
By Jeremy Slacksman, who's their trouser specialist that they have on there now.
I thought Emily had been drafted in on a Dapple Ash story. I was just curious.
Please.
I'll tell you
Please.
the sort of undergarments we're favouring these days.
And can I say, I'm asking this in a sort of social history kind of a way, not
me
a
too.
ooh baby kind of a way.
Me too. Ooh, babe.
I'm highly
Frank
relieved to
Spencer.
hear it.
Yes.
There'll be no ooh baby in this studio
No,
on my
certainly
time.
not.
I have just checked. And I would say what we're going for, maybe Charlie and Daisy could back me up
Oh.
on this, is...
I didn't want to personalise this.
Okay, too late. Is a brief.
Oh, okay, they're back, are they?
The brief is back, but not
Yep.
not big pants like Alan seems to be suggesting
No,
with
no,
his
I-
weird fantasies.
This is their
It's a-
moment, isn't it? The brief.
It's the brief.
Let me ask this question.
brief
You don't have
history
to
in time.
answer this.
I will. I will.
If there was, could you give me a rough measurement on waistband to side seam, lower side seam?
In centimetres.
15 inches. 15 inches.
That was a loon pants.
15
I told you, they've gone big.
No.
They've gone big.
No,
It's
in
winter,
the-
innit? The
let's
rest of the
say-
What would
comfort.
you say, girls? 2 centimetres?
Okay.
We'll go 2 centimetres.
I think it's much more sensible than the thong.
Oh, so much
Oh, the
more.
thong always remind me of the cheese counter.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know when the wire comes across to slice. Oh
Yeah.
no. Anyway, So
that's the pants we're wearing today.
Congratulations. I'm wearing Daddy Pig pants.
I've got
really?
I've got an affordable stripy cotton boxer short.
Affordable?
Affordable.
Well, you could who could wear inaffordable pants? Surely that's some sort of tautology.
I mean, that's one of their key.
Where do you get your pants? Does your wife buy them?
What? No, I buy them.
Did you say?
Or sometimes I get
do you
them as a
Wi-Fi them?
I said, does your wife buy them?
Oh, okay.
3G pants.
I thought you suggested I wouldn't buy pants online.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, I have done.
I've had line-on pants before.
Oh, I have. Frank, can I recommend figleaves.com? I don't need freebies. I've got them coming out of my ears.
Yeah, no, I know that, darling, and I've always respected you for that.
The best of Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.